Well, who saw that coming? As you can imagine, I am absolutely over the moon and firmly believe we have one foot back to Bilbao in 3 weeks' time, because that's obviously where the final is going to be played. But I'm going to do my due diligence, and as always, I'm going to start with the professional conversation by starting by talking about the most important person in that first leg, referee Espan Eskas, whatever his name is, from Norway, because he has to be the bravest man in all of Bilbao tonight. And I mean bravest, because I'm not going to sit here and say he had a perfect performance, because I don't think he did have a perfect performance. Let's not get that twisted straight away. I don't think he did have a perfect performance, but he had to make some incredibly brave decisions tonight. And on the whole, I think all of them were correct. Now, I'll start with the penalty, because obviously that is the big decision, which has had the massive deciding factor on the remainder of this leg, and hopefully, as a Manchester United fan, the remainder of the tie. I'll be honest, my initial instinct was not a penalty. My initial instinct, when I saw the cross come in, I just went, no, that's not enough. Again, Højlund's not got there, and it's another cross wasted where he's just not quite got there. I saw the replay, and I thought, if they give that, it's incredibly soft. The more and more I saw the replay, the more and more I thought it was a foul, but I would have accepted the VAR to not make the decision to send the referee to the monitor, because I knew if that decision was made, he would have to send Vivian off. I sent him to the monitor, he looked at it, and he looked at it, and he gave the penalty, and he sent Vivian off. Incredibly brave decision, but after seeing it on multiple replays, just about the correct decision. But if you've got your complaints about it, I am welcome to hear them down in the comment section. I do think it's soft. I do genuinely think it's soft. But there is a clear shirt pull from the moment that ball is crossed in. He holds on and he holds on. He doesn't let go until Rasmus hits the floor. So I don't think there can be much argument other than literally that it is soft. But for me, it is just enough a foul, which obviously means it's a penalty, and under the rules, it means it is a red card. He did have a couple of other big decisions to make. The other penalty shout, which again, I don't think was a penalty. There was a nudge on Garnacho's back, but not enough for a foul, and I don't think he would have got there anyway, so it's not like the Højlund one where Højlund would have got there without the shirt pull. And of course, the Harry Maguire incident where he could have been sent off for a Dogzo goal-scoring opportunity. But again, for me, the forward fouls Maguire before Maguire then fouls him. If he doesn't foul Maguire, that challenge is enough for a Dogzo, in my opinion, and probably should be a red card. But you can clearly see the shirt pull from the forward to get ahead of Maguire before Maguire then drags him down. So again, the referee got that right. The reason why I can't sit here and say it was a perfect performance from the referee is because I think he gave a few crap decisions away. I think, again, he gave a few soft free kicks throughout the game. And if I'm a Bilbao fan, I'm absolutely fuming because of the amount of times he got in the way of Bilbao players and actually intercepted the ball from Bilbao passes. The referee's actual on-field positioning was atrocious. But at the end of the day, he got the big decisions right, and ultimately that led to Manchester United's win. But now I'll go for the full bias and the joy and elation that I'm feeling after that match, because even before the red card, we were the better team. People have seemingly already forgotten this on social media. We were already 1-0 up before the red card and the penalty incident. We were already the better team before that incident, and we deserved to be ahead. Yes, there was the big chance for Inaki Williams, but again, friggin' hell, I'm a Man United fan. How many times has Højlund missed that this season? How many times has Garnacho missed that this season? Or Bruno, or whoever. Xerxes, in those positions of the pitch, have missed those chances. Big chances in big games, you've got to score. Athletic Bilbao had one prior to Manchester United's goal, and they missed it. And look, we gave them a couple of half chances. There were a couple of mistakes in our back line, but they didn't punish us. And when we started getting forward, it looked pretty quickly like we were going to create chances and cause problems. Did I think the biggest chance and the biggest problem would come from Harry Maguire squaring up the left back, turning him inside and out and putting a cross into the front post? No, but it's Harry Maguire. He's having that sort of season. His confidence is back to the absolute maximum. He's playing at his absolute maximum once again. And when he picked that ball up and when he jinked inside, I went, he's going to beat him again. And he did. He got round the outside. He flicked it in. Ugarte completely misplaces his header. But Casemiro, again, one of the stars from the comeback against Lyon, gets there, back post, right place, right time, like you know he always is, and he buries it to put Manchester United 1-0 ahead. We've obviously already spoken about the penalty incident, but obviously Bruno's still got to take it and score it. But you just know with Bruno, when it matters, he's going to deliver. And Bruno, of course, delivered once again. And then from then on, it was United dominance. And it probably should have been more than 3 by the end of it. But let's talk about the third goal. Again, brilliant build-up play. The passing between the lines was really good. Obviously, it's easier against 10 men. Granted, we didn't prove that against Lyon. But today, we absolutely did. Ball in field, brilliant pass forward. It comes to Bruno. He shifts it into Ugarte. Lovely little backheel from Ugarte. Perfectly timed. Bruno 1v1. Buries it past the goalkeeper. 3-0 Manchester United. And I'm sitting there going now, can we get 4 or 5 in the second half to absolutely kill the game? Sadly, we didn't. But we take a 3-0 lead back to Old Trafford next week. Is the tie over? No. Absolutely it's not. If Bilbao score the first goal next week, we know we can capitulate with the mentality of these players. But it's a lead that I didn't even think we'd have in the first place, let alone a 3-goal lead. I'd have settled for a 1-goal defeat tonight. I predicted a 1-goal defeat tonight. I think a draw would have been fantastic. I think a lead would have been unbelievable. To take a 3-goal lead back to Old Trafford, absolutely unfathomable. And like I said, in my head, we have got 1 foot back to Bilbao. If we lose it from this position, we absolutely don't deserve it. And every single player would have to take a long, hard look at themselves and possibly never, ever, ever, any of them play for Manchester United again. But this is the position we're in. But again, wasn't a perfect performance. Lindelof made 2 or 3 mistakes, but made up for it with a brilliant goal line double clearance to keep the score at 0-0. Again, like I said, they had a couple of chances before the goal that we scored, but half chances at best. And I also think Mason Mount was horrendous when he came on today. I don't think Mason Mount put a foot right when he came on. The amount of times he gave it away, he got himself booked, he was selfish, his shots were off. Really, really poor performance from Mason Mount. But other than that, to a man, Manchester United absolutely outstanding. Obviously, we know about Bruno, but I think Garnacho was outstanding again tonight for the second European game running. I think Højlund was outstanding tonight. Again, he couldn't quite get his goal. But if it wasn't for the pull from Vivian, he would have got his goal. I think his hold-up play was good. I think his link-up play was better. Again, you've got to take with a slight pinch of salt that we were against 10 men for so long. But he was already doing it before they had a player sent off. Midfield, again, I think Ugarte took a while to get into the game. He was sloppy to begin with. As we already said, his assist for our opening goal was him trying to score, and he misplaced his header straight to Casemiro. But he grew into the game. After we got the second goal, it almost settled him down. He then started dictating play. Obviously got the assist for the Bruno goal as well. Dorgu played fantastically. Mazraoui played fantastically. All this talk about Nico Williams and Inaki Williams being such big threats. Other than the Inaki Williams header, he basically wasn't in the game. I think Dorgu was outstanding to match the pace of Inaki Williams as well on times. Fantastic from him. And Mazraoui absolutely played Nico Williams off the pitch. I know he was coming back from injury, but this is one of the most talked about players in world football right now. And Mazraoui absolutely played him off the pitch. Absolutely no threat from Nico Williams whatsoever. And then the back line, like I say, Lindelof a bit dodgy. Maguire outstanding for the bits that he was on the pitch. Some really important tackles and obviously creating the first goal. Yoro just looks like he's going to be a world-class player, and hopefully we can just keep developing him. And Onana didn't really have anything to do all game, so no complaints about that. De Ligt came on, fantastic, positive to have him back. He looked comfortable. Mainu came on and did well. Diallo back, Ahmad back. Absolutely fantastic to see him getting some minutes on the pitch. And I've definitely forgotten someone, but I can't remember. Luke Shaw came on. He didn't really have to do that much because, again, we completely nullified them across the pitch once they had 10 men. So really, really happy with the performance. Do I think we're going to get a result against Brentford at the weekend? I'd like to think we could, but Brentford are playing quite well at the moment. And obviously, again, we don't want to risk any serious significant players getting injured. So I would expect some big rotation for the game at the weekend. Obviously, we don't want to finish 17th, but if the consequence is we get through next week, then I'm absolutely fine with it. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Have we already guaranteed our spot in the final? I certainly hope so. I don't think Bilbao can pull it back from this position, but stranger things have happened in football. You just never know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very soon.